So last week I did my first impressions video on WW3 after playing for a couple hours, and as promised, this week I'm going to come with the full review. I've played the entire weekend. I've played for a lot of hours, and I'm seriously enjoying the game. So to think that this game was made by an indie company, the Farm 51, good job to them. The game is not fully released yet. It's still in early access, which means it does have its fair share of problems, but they're being quickly resolved. So we're gonna hop right in. First of all, what does the game play like? I would say this game is kind of a mesh of Battlefield in terms of map scale and vehicular combat, but the gunplay is actually a bit more realistic and tactical, so I'd say that's more like Insurgency and Siege. So this game kind of plays somewhere in the middle of these two games, and I like this because I like tactical games, and it was kind of hard to get a lot of my friends on Siege because of that permadeath. With this game, it's tactical and you can respawn, so I can see a lot of people actually liking this. So that's going to be our first pro on the list. The gameplay, it's tactical and it's actually pretty satisfying. The time to kill is pretty quickly. The guns are amazing. We're going to hop into the customization very quickly. The customization is so in-depth and it's so detailed, and they actually give you a lot of options for not just your guns but actually your player. You can change the voice lines, you can change the headgear, their camouflage, their pants, even the gloves. Put shades on them. But when it comes to the guns, you can also do all that as well, but they give you a lot more choices aesthetically, so you could change even the handles for the gun. You can change the stocks, the type of barrels, the type of top rails, and you can totally change your gun. And how deep is this customization? I'm talking you can put a sniper scope on your RPG, change the grips, and paint it chrome if you want. So yes, I am loving the customization on this. However, everything is not just aesthetically though. Your player actually has weight, so the more attachments you put on and the types of guns you carry are actually going to affect your weight, and these are going to make you run either faster or slower. But it's not just customization. Your player also has an armor level. This depends on how much damage you can actually take and how fast you can die. Most games with 1 to 2 bullets will normally protect you if you have on armor, but this game the armor really plays a huge role. It can literally be life or death depending on which type of armor you have on. You can change your armor for your chest plate and for your helmet, so that's kind of a new feature I'm still trying to get used to, because you shoot a person a certain amount of times, okay, he's dead, but because they have on the heaviest armor in the game, they're gonna need a few extra bullets. So getting used to the armor, I'd give it a plus, because I always like to see new stuff in first-person shooter, so this is pretty new, so I'm liking that. Another thing I like is that the game is very squad oriented. You can only spawn on your squad leader. Everyone can have different gadgets. You can either put down like health kits and ammo kits, or you can have like different drones, so everyone in the squad can kind of have their own role. But speaking of roles, one thing I like in games is giving players incentive to play the objective, and this game does that pretty well in my opinion. So this game kind of has a conquest mode like Battlefield, but before you spawn in you actually have to choose a role, being attacker or defender. So this means whichever side you pick, you'll get the most points for playing that role. So if you pick defender, your job is going to be to stay on the flags that are being attacked by the enemy, and if you pick attacker, you have to go and attack the flags that aren't yours. You're going to get more points for doing that. These points are how you call in your tanks and your other kill streaks, if you will. I'm just going to call them kill streaks because that's a term everyone knows, but yeah, the more points you get as they fill up at the bar at the bottom, then you can call in your tanks and your airstrikes, etc. So to me, that's a pretty good way to get players to play the objective, and you can swap them at any time when you're spawning in. So if your team is winning and you have majority flags, then you can switch to the defender role, so you still keep getting points, and vice versa. So that's a pretty cool feature. So now on to the con side of things, or the bad parts of this game. The spawns. So the spawns are so bad in this game. If you capture a flag and you choose to spawn on that particular flag and enemies are taking that flag, it's not going to stop you. It will literally spawn you right on that point. I think they should do like some games which spawn you kind of like on the outskirts of that particular flag, but no, they'll spawn you like right on the inside of that flag, especially when the enemies are taking it. I've literally spawned right in front of enemies, and as soon as I spawn, I've been shot because there's also no spawn shield. So Like most games, as soon as you spawn in, you're invincible for like 2-3 seconds. This game doesn't have that, so you literally spawn in and just get shot. So I think they need to work on the spawns. The second thing would be the lags. The game still has like these little stutters ever so often. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of affects my gameplay sometimes, especially if you're in a gunfight, and then it just starts to like stutter and stick up a little bit. Next I have on the list here is shortening tickets. The matches are way too long. I'm not sure if they're meant to be like 64 players like Battlefield is why the tickets are so high, but more often than not the time limit tends to run out before the tickets tend to reach the full point that they're supposed to be at. So yeah, the matches are like 30-35 minutes long, somewhere around there, and time always runs out before each team manages to get the maximum amount of tickets. So I think they should shorten the amount of tickets there are so the matches don't last that long. And the last thing I have here is the sight reticules. I use the medium sights, so kind of like ACOGs or whatever, and the center is red, but for some reason it keeps disappearing, or it kind of goes black. I'm not sure if there's something that I'm doing or it changes color depending on the distance or something like that, but I would like it to constantly stay red like the holographic sights or the red dot sight, so I can actually see who I'm shooting at, because the lighting is a problem in this game. So trying to shoot someone in poor lighting and the middle of my sight disappears. I can't track the person. It's kind of hard to keep shooting at them, so I kind of like that to be fixed. But again, it's still in early access, so yeah, maybe they plan to fix that in the future. But yeah, that's about the cons of this game, and all the stuff that I mentioned can be fixed, so I guess take it with a grain of salt. The game is currently on sale for $28. I'm not going to do my usual thing where I say if you should buy it or not, because I'm not going to recommend a game that isn't fully finished, but I'm doing this so you know that the game is out there and you're aware of it, and it's pretty good. So if you're not comfortable with buying a game in early access, just keep your eye on this game, because I think it has a lot of potential and it can grow its own community. So yeah, that's my review of World War 3 that's currently in early access. If you actually play this game, what are your thoughts on it? You can leave them down in the comment section down below. Subscribe for more gaming reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.